All right, so the next song that we have on the list today is Swan Song by LOVEBITES. So I am very, very unfamiliar with Swan Song, but this one was sent to me, I believe, in my Discord was giving me this particular request. So we are going to jump into the next song from LOVEBITES and see what they got going on. So the last one I remember was pretty spectacular, so I would imagine this would be nothing other than that. Doesn't look like there's any closed captions, so nothing available in that aspect. So I guess the thing is for me, guys, is like, is every Japanese artist, are they able to play like every instrument? Like, is that like a thing in Japan? Like, if you play one, you play them all? Like, and you're just good at all of them? Like, I don't get how like everybody is just like, you know, the greatest musician I've ever seen, and they all come out of Japan. It's rather spectacular and rather magnificent, if I'm gonna be honest. We go from that to this, like just a little 1, 2, 3, 4, and like bam, we're gonna switch it up. That was a crazy, beautiful intro though. Like, it was such great piano, such great piano. Again, I don't understand how everybody is just so incredibly talented. It seems like everybody's classically trained on every instrument in the world out there, and they're all just amazing at it. Like, you know, it's hard to say like who's better than who because they're just all great. They're all just amazing, and it's hard to really like pin them against each other like that in that aspect because they're just all good. Okay, before she even gets into any of this singing, all I can think about when I see this band is I see like there's so much like badassness in like each one of the band members, like with the exception of the singer, right? If you take the singer out of the equation, you look at every other band member in this band, they all have such fierce and like don't fuck with me faces. You know what I mean? Like this look and this presence of like badassery. You know what I mean? But they're all dressed up in like these beautiful dresses and like high heels and stuff with like, but as soon as you get to like the chin up, it's like, don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like this beautiful, elegant, don't fuck with me zone. I will fuck you up. Yeah. And again, when you talk look at the aesthetic, and then you tie that back to like what they're playing and the overall sound and the music, it's like super metal. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like straight out of any kind of metal playbook. You know what I mean? And it's in great fashion, and her voice is amazing. I know we just started, but I already know her voice sounds good. That Floating Lotus line was wicked, man. Wicked. Like, her vocal range is pretty fucking nuts, too. Like, it's tough when we're going from, like, you know, world-renowned singers, and then we're going to just like, extremely great vocalists just like her. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to try to, like, compare to or say that her voice isn't spectacular, because it obviously is. Like, we've just been hitting so many great vocalists on the show lately. And so it's just one of those things where another time where it's just like, wow, just another great singer. And another singer, English is not their primary language. And she's killing those notes, man. And I feel like the English translation actually is pretty decent. I don't get completely lost in it, where a lot of times, like sometimes like it's really kind of hard to understand the English. But I think that she does a really good job. And I feel like the more times you sing it, the more times you practice it, the more times you perform it, the only better it's going to get. And I don't know how old this is, but I would imagine it probably sounds even 10 times better now than it did probably back then. So I think at the time and everything that it is, it's already pretty great. And the thing that energy about this band is that it's a lot of like what I like to kind of refer to as like that train, like the train track, like metal, if you will, like those kind of rhythms where it just kind of sounds like a locomotive, like kind of thing to me, where it's kind of just very loud and just kind of like in your face, like an engine, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of revving, like as we're kind of going, why her voice sounds so angelic on top of that revving engine of like energy. I really like the lyrical content here because I feel like it's something that we don't really touch on as much in the idea of really a lot of the ideologies kind of in America, where I feel like a lot of other countries and nations and just really like religions, period, whatever, however you want to equate it, like the idea of like dying with honor and like that, like she was kind of talking about like the martyr's sacrifice, if you will, where there's a lot of people in the world that like completely believe in that ideology. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people out there that would never, ever even think that that would be a great idea. So it's cool to see somebody kind of like even just have the writing about that, where she's kind of like even kind of tests those theories, if you will, where she's kind of saying like, you know, you might think it's this way, but one sacrifice can save more people. You know what I mean? So like, it really is kind of always a matter of perspective. You know what I mean? Like, there's countless people that we could kind of get in discussions about, like the impact of their death and things that have happened before their death or after their death. But we're not really here to talk about that today. But I think it was just cool to really just kind of see that kind of experimentation and that kind of writing in a song like this. So I thought it was cool, especially when we're already kind of talking about really a lot of like these ideas of like the battle going to Valhalla and being prepared to, like, you know, to meet God and all that kind of stuff. So it's like a very warrior triumphant kind of overall song. So it's definitely got a feel and energy and vibe to the overall song structure and what they're putting out here as a whole to me. Everybody just kind of doing like this little like rock on thing, like with their hands, like in the moment when like they should be like, you know, running and jumping in a little circle pit. Do Japanese people like not like circle pits? Like, what's the deal with that? Like, I've never seen anybody get the pit going at a Japanese show. Is that like a thing? I've always seen a couple of like videos of like random, you know what I mean? Like random countries where they're getting the pit going at some like punk rock show type shit. So what's the deal with that in Japan? Are they too polite over there to like to spin in a circle as a group? Because they could probably do it pretty synchronized pretty well, actually. Their circle pits would probably actually be the best. So, and the ones that people probably wouldn't really get hurt in. Wow, that was something special, to say the least. That was a whole production, and like a whole like that. Again, I think that we've talked about this a few different times, but definitely never in a Love Bites video. But I think to me, what makes the art of metal music like the uniqueness, if it will, is the fact that it's the ability to be able to kind of be like a full scale, like theatrical piece of art, if you will. The way that that metal, I feel, is the genre that does it the best, where you can start a song out with a 1.5-minute piano intro, and then you can get into a 2-minute intro of a guitar solo before any singing even starts, and everybody would still be happy. You know, metal is the only real genre that is able to really kind of, I think, break those barriers the best ways, in my opinion, where that's where I feel like they get away with it. And that's why I feel like the art of metal is like an incredibly artistic place to live in, even though there is some like dark and weird and creepy and scary stuff out there. But it doesn't mean it's all bad. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to find some good and some positive and some great things in them. So like this one, there's not really a whole lot of, it's not really difficult to find. It's just pretty much awesome through and through. That's pretty much what it is. It's awesome through and through. The singing is great. The musical instrumentation is awesome. The solos were great. I just knew as soon as they were going to start doing this whole solo thing, I was like, yeah, the way that they play on a stage and don't move, like you're not playing around with your instruments. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not playing around with it. Those ladies are not playing no games. You know what I mean? Like you can just tell in their faces, they ain't playing no games. They came to do a thing, and they came to give you a show, and you're going to get what you paid for. And that's exactly what we got. So thank you so much for the suggestion.